Ladies and gentlemen, we are live. This is Intersets. So basically, I was trying to figure out what to do my first when I decided, okay, let's talk about FPL because FPL is a great platform, and I realized while a lot of people use it, a lot of people don't know what it is, and they need someone like me to explain to them so that they will join because a lot of people are lagging or left behind from this beautiful experience. So we're going straight into a beginner's guide for FPL. Okay, so what does FPL stand for? If you don't know that, Fantasy Premier League. Basically, it's a league where you get to create your own team. Everyone starts with £100 million. The money increases or decreases according to how your players perform, but you get £100 million. FPL, they generate prices for players, so the prices of players are based on expected points outcome, right? So I think the most expensive players are Salah, Fernandez. I'll get to points grade and you understand how these points work. Let the team. So yeah, it's a great platform, especially if you're like an Arsenal fan where like your team is never going to give you joy. So you can have FPL to make your life better. In Fantasy Premier League, and now what's special about Fantasy Premier League is when you choose a team, like you have players. There's a rule in Fantasy Premier League where you can't have more than 3 players from one team. So everybody's team is made up of different players from Premier League, right? And the players' points are given based on real life matches. So like whatever the player plays in real life, it gives it controls how many points the player gets. I mean, like if a match happens, that is what will affect what's happening in your FPL league. So that's why it's very interesting because like as matches go on, imagine me a Man U fan, I might have Mount in my team and the man scores and I'm celebrating even though all of us hate Chelsea, right? You understand? So it helps you enjoy football matches more, it helps you watch football matches more. I know some of them don't watch football because of Bet Niger and all, but with this one you don't have to take too much money, it's much more fun. Alright, so let's go into the points grading system. This is important because if you know how the points are given, you will know how to choose your team, you will know how to reasonably predict players that would give you a better turnover. So basically I'll start with the attacking points, like with plus points. So for every goal scored, if it's an attacker, meaning a striker, the striker gets 4 points. If it's a midfielder that scored the goal, the midfielder gets 5 points. If it's a defender that scored the goal, the defender gets 6 points. Am I counting right? Yeah, 6. If it's a keeper that scored, the keeper gets 6 points. That's mad, but for every assist, the player gets 3 points. It doesn't matter which wing they are playing from. This is important. So this is why a lot of times you see in FPL teams, players and FPL managers choose defenders that have the ability to score. So you see the likes of defenders that move forward generally. So you see the likes of Van Dijk. Van Dijk is like one of the most expensive defenders because he's always there for corners and nothing. And then there's Trent Alexander-Arnold. Luke Shaw is literally, they said he's now the most owned player in FPL. That's because he has a tendency to give crosses. He always attacks so. That's why it's important. It's not really about a player that can defend that well. Alright. What other point? Okay, clean sheets. Let's spoken about attack. Let's speak about defense. So for every clean sheet, if a defender had a clean sheet, the defender gets 4 points. The keeper gets 4 points. A keeper that had a clean sheet gets 4 points. That is why it's good to get a keeper that hopefully has a good defense, right? Then a midfielder that has a clean sheet gets 1 point. A striker that had a clean sheet, nothing concerned them. They did not defend, so they don't get any point. They get 0 points. I hope I'm not going too fast. What else? Right. If a keeper makes 3 saves, the keeper gets 1 point. If a keeper makes 3 saves, the keeper gets 1 point. I think that's all. So every player that plays a game, whether from the start or comes as a substitute, gets 1 point. If a player plays up to 60 minutes, the player then gets 2 points. So those are how players get points in FPL. At the end of every match or close to the end, FPL, Fantasy Premier League, the people that control it, they give bonus points from 3 to 1. So those bonus points are based on the play and all those so this man of the match thing. How are points deducted from FPL? If a player gets a yellow card, the player gets -1. If a player gets a red card -3. That is 3 points are deducted from whatever point the player has. So if you get a player, you say he just enter, he never play anything, you can't get 3 points, you will see -2. Okay. If a player scores an own goal, -2 points, avoid Phil Jones. If a player misses a penalty, the player gets -2 points. If a player misses a penalty, the player gets -2 points. If a keeper catches a penalty, the keeper gets +5. That's mad, right? Okay, maybe I should talk about the transfers. Let's go to transfers since I've spoken about points. So basically, when you start the FPL, you have the chance to sign 16 players. So there's 11 starting players and then there's the 5 substitutes. You have 16 players with your £100 million, right? Every game week you have one transfer, one free transfer. You can make other transfers, that one concerns you, but you lose 4 points for every other transfer you make apart from the one transfer. I don't know if I'm communicating. So, but if you do not use your transfer that game week, it gets transferred to the next game week. So the next game week you have 2 free transfers, but you cannot have more than 2 free transfers. So if you do not use your 2 free transfers that next game week, the next game week after that you do not have 3, you still have 2. It's always 2. So it's better to like don't wait expecting you are gathering 11 free transfers. So now selecting your team and captain. Captain is like the most important part of FPL because I've said plenty is not the most important. Just follow with me because like with captains you can really get so much points. So a captain gets ×2 or whatever points the captain generates. This means that if your captain has say 20 points, he gets 40 points. It's a lot. So that's why you have to give the armband not to the person you think is most influential, but to the person you think will get the most points for that game week. So a lot of people are so smart with that captain thing that they use it to win a lot, right? And a lot of people just go with the favorable names like Salah, Bruno Fernandes, Harry Kane, people that are most likely to give you some points, you know. So yeah, the vice captain doesn't get any extra points, but if the captain doesn't play, the vice captain becomes the captain. So that's why it's very important, especially if you are putting a Guardiola player as your captain. You know, Guardiola sometimes you hear the touch, you just bench, person we supposed to start. So the vice captain then becomes the captain, and then those extra points goes to the vice captain. If both of them don't play, your captainship no ×2. Now your captain no play, your vice captain no play. Who can't play for your team? The bench is important because if a player from your team doesn't play, now the way the bench is arranged, so you have the keeper, right, and then you have 4 players. The arrangement is important, starting from where the keeper is. I don't know that left or right, but after the keeper, so if a player from your team doesn't play, he is substituted with the person next to the keeper, as long as it maintains the formation. And what does that mean is that you cannot have less than 3 defenders, you cannot have more than 3 strikers. As long as it maintains that formation, right, the person, so the substitution is chosen based on that pecking order. So you have to arrange your bench accordingly. Let us talk about chips. So in FPL you have 4 chips, and these 4 chips are given to you twice a season. So you have the first one from when the season starts with first transfer window, which is like January, right? So it's from August to December, and then the next one is from January to till the end of the season. So those 4 chips are wildcard, free hit, bench boost, and triple captain. So which one do I get first? Mini, mani, mo, father, then donkey, die, father, cry, mini, mani, mo. I don't know what this is. Okay, let's just have a wild card. So wild card gives you wildcard gives you a chance to reset. You can make as many transfers as you want once you activate that wild card. So for that game week, you can change as many players as you want. A lot of you watching this are going to end up using a wild card quite early in the season because you realize by like 3 or 4 game weeks that I choose rubbish. So it happens to the best of us, or I don't know the best of us. It happened to me. So that wild card gives you the chance to reset your team, change your players without losing points and all that. Free hit gives you a chance to reset your team, but it's for that game week. So say a couple of your players are not playing this game week, you can use free hit and change your squad, but it returns back to how your squad was before you use the free hit after that game week. I don't know if I'm making sense. And the next one is bench boost. Bench boost means when you use bench boost, all the points, including the points on your bench, And if you are playing FPL, you know how much this is, because sometimes you see on your bench, you see some guys having 12. Remember, people you put inside get 1 and 2, it will pin you. But with bench boost, every player's point is counted. It's part of your cumulative score. Then triple captain is triple captain is big. You have triple captain once. I'm sorry. It's not twice. You have triple captain once in a season, and you need to use it. Some people save that triple captain till the very end. I saved Mount in the end last year, till Harry Kane had the double game. He turned out well. So triple captain means the captain gets ×3 of whatever points he's gotten. So if the captain had 20, you get 60. So imagine you have a triple captain and a captain that gets 30 points, or more than 90. Like they make all your players no play, nothing concerned. You don't it. You get. Am I forgetting anything about FPL? I think I've said what I need to say. If you want to really be good at FPL, you need to follow up with EPL matches. You need to keep tabs. I would advise everyone to follow FPL with their Twitter handle, because they always tell you, okay, this player is injured, this player is out. They give you hints and stuff. Also follow this page. I'll be, as much as possible, I'll be trying to give you guys updates. I'll be giving updates on what's going on. Why join FPL? I mean, it's a fun stuff. Like, you can join mini leagues. You can join. There are a lot of leagues. There are some leagues where you get money. There are some leagues where you get paid. There are some leagues where you put in money, and then the best manager of the week, of the month, or the season, like, they get trophies. Literally, I was in one last year that the winner got a PS5, and stuff like that. And then you can also have leagues with your friends where you guys can all talk and gist and everything. Like, it's cool. It's really, really cool. I really suggest every EPL watcher joins FPL. Oh, also the overall winner gets a mini prizes. But if you are watching this video, just forget about it. You know fit winner. I promise you cannot win it. So just forget about that one, right? Just focus you. Alright, we've come to the end. I'm sure you love this video. If you didn't love it, get that. If you loved it, please like, comment, share, whatever. Listen, subscribe. I love you guys. I'm coming back next week after the matches. Match day comes on Friday, so you better set your FPL team. Peace.